So, welcome everyone to the NPTEL course on post-harvest operations and processing of fruits, vegetables, spices, and plantation crop products. Uh, the course instructor of this course is Professor H.N. Mishra, who is the professor in the Department of Agriculture and Food Engineering, IIT Kharagpur. I am Shikha Sharma and I am a research scholar in the Department of Chemical Engineering, and I am the TA of this course for this July 2025 semester. So this live interaction session is for week 4, and the assignment deadline for week 4, for assignment 4 deadline is 20 August 2025. So let's just see what are the topics which we will be covering today. So we will be discussing about module 4, which includes cleaning, operations, sorting and grading, peeling, pouring and slicing, then containers and packaging materials, packaging methods and equipments. So this module lecture videos from 16 to 20, which includes cleaning and washing, sorting and grading, peeling, pouring and slicing, containers and packaging materials for fresh produce, and last is the packaging methods and equipment. So I hope you have already gone through these 4 videos. So we'll be solving some of the conceptual based questions today regarding all these 4 topics. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. So let's begin with our first question of today. So first question asks about which among the following methods is not typically used for cleaning fruits and vegetables. So we have 4 options: dry cleaning, brushing, chemical peeling, and washing. So anyone who is willing to answer? So how many people? Okay, so only 2 people joined today. Yes, Aishwarya?
Dyeing, killing,
chemical peeling.
Yeah, so you are saying dry cleaning?
dry cleaning.
Okay. So chemical peeling is the answer, option C. So what happens? As we know that first let's understand the basic definition of cleaning. So cleaning is basically, it is a post-harvest operation when we are removing the foreign impurities from our fruits or vegetable or any spices or anything, any food produce. If we are uh, trying to remove the foreign impurities such as the soil, debris, and any pesticide residues from the horticultural commodities or from a surface such as the utensils and the equipments which are used during handling, processing and storage. So basic impurities, like it can include like when we are harvesting the horticulture produce, the soil can come with the food product or the fruits or vegetables. So that means we need to remove soil, which is a foreign particle. Soil, the dust particles can also come, and along with some of the microorganisms can come over the surface of the fruits or vegetables. Yeah, so by cleaning, we try to reduce this microbial population also. Then there are other things like pesticides also. So we can remove that also. Sometimes there can be black spots or sap. So we can just basically, from the basic cleaning, we can clean the surface. Also, surface of the fruits and vegetables. Also, like if we are cleaning the handling, processing, or storage utensils, so or equipments, that is also come under cleaning. So cleaning basically includes dry cleaning, brushing, and washing, not peeling. Peeling does not come under cleaning of fruits and vegetables. So this answer is wrong. Others are cleaning methods. Like we know that there are three different cleaning methods. One is dry cleaning, in which air and dry brushes or clothes we can use to clean fruits and vegetables. Another operation is trimming, where removal of unwanted leaves or the stems or the roots are there prior to the packaging and the storing. Third is wet cleaning, wash, or the we know it as washing, where what happens, produce is washed with clean water, usually by putting in a water tank. So we can put fruits and vegetables in water tank to clean it, and there can be continuous flow of water and agitation during the wet cleaning. So it's like in dry cleaning, we are using air or brushes or clothes. Okay, and in trimming, we are just taking out the unwanted leaves or the stems or unwanted products which are coming with the fruits or vegetables. And in wet cleaning, we are using basically water for the cleaning purpose, in which we can use agitation. Some mixing also we can use. So we can use agitation also. And the method for the wet cleaning, it includes like we can soak. So it's like dipping or soaking into the water bath and then spraying with water, and then we can use rotating drum. So there can be drum which is rotating, and the food product can be inside and water will also be inside. So it helps in cleaning. Rotating brush also can be there. So there will be any like brush with water, like water is coming, also brush is there. So brush will try to clean up the surface, and brush will try to like uh, put some abrasion force, and water will come, and the surface of the fruit will be cleaned. Then vibrates washer, so it uses vibration motion for the cleaning. So like this, there are different cleaning methods. So only peeling cannot come under cleaning. So this answer is incorrect. C. Let's move to the next question, which is about this, which of the following statement which is related to trimming of grapes. So we just now discussed that in the cleaning method, second method is trimming. So let's discuss about uh, trimming of grapes. So trimming of bunches is done to remove the undersized berries. Second statement is trimming of bunches is done to remove the mature berries, and third is trimming of the bunches is done to remove the dried berries. Fourth is trimming of bunches is done to remove the damaged berries. So which option can be correct? Anyone would like to answer? Anyone who would like to answer? So Vishakha is saying 1, 3, and 4. Anyone else? Okay, let's see answer. So she's correct that 1, 3, and 4 are correct answer. Suraj, yes. So 1, 3, and 4, C option is correct. So basically, we discussed about the trimming. So trimming is basically we are removing the unwanted leaves, stem, or the roots prior to the packaging and storage. So it basically includes to remove all these unwanted other parts of the fruit or the vegetable, like the leaves, stems, or the roots. So it helps in, why we do trimming? Trimming helps in reduces storage spaces by eliminating the unwanted materials. So the storage space will be less and it will be uh, better for like beneficial, cost beneficial for the transportation purpose. Also, it reduces the likelihood of diseases of their spread. So if we are doing trimming, all the other parts will be removed and microbial contamination will be little lesser or the disease spread will be little lesser. So, and also it facilitates packaging and handling and reduces damages to other products. So it helps in packaging, like if the unwanted leaves and the stem will be removed. So what will happen? It will help, as we said, we need lesser storage space to store the food products. So it's better for even for the packaging and easy for the handling also. Then it is done in some vegetables like lettuce, cabbage, cauliflower, like these vegetables. They are being trimmed before packing. And in case of, if we talk about grapes or the berries like products, so it helps in trimming of the bunches. So if we are trimming the bunches, what will happen? This, so it is done to remove the undersized, immature, dried, split, and damaged berries. So all the when we are trimming the grapes, what we are doing basically, the undersize and the immature fruits and vegetables, basically the grapes and the berries, or the berries or the grapes which are dried already, or splitted one or damaged one, they will be removed, right? So in first, it is saying that trimming of the bunches is done to remove undersized berries, so which is correct. Then second is saying that it is done to remove the mature berries, so it is not correct. Immature berries is correct. So next is trimming of bunches is done to remove the dried berries, which is which is correct. And then trimming of the bunches is done to remove the damaged berries, so which is also correct. So 1, 3, and 4 are correct. Statement 1, 3, and 4 are correct. So option C is correct. Is this question clear to everyone? Can we move to this next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So which washing method is most suitable for delicate commodities like berries and grapes? Soaking, water spraying, rotating drum, and dry cleaning using air blowers. Anyone would like to answer? See, Suraj is saying dry cleaning using Air blowers. Okay. Anyone else?
And soaking.
Which one? Soaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Soaking. We got second answer as soaking. So we have soaking and A and D. Anyone else whose answer is different than these two answers? Okay, let's discuss this part.
B1.
Okay, D, we got 2 as D. Okay, soaking. Okay, let's see. Okay, so D is correct answer. Let's see why this is correct and soaking is not correct answer. So basically, what happened? We discussed that in here we discussed in cleaning that the third method is wet cleaning or the washing method. Okay, so where we are using water and agitation. So when we are using agitation, these three, all like the soaking, water sprayers, and the rotating drum, these three are wet cleaning methods. So wet cleaning methods, they use water and wet cleaning method, right? So they use water and agitation. So because of the agitation, the product may get little damaged. So if we are using air blowers, which will not going to touch the product and air will not going to like we are not agitating or we are not putting any brushes or anything, just the air. So it will not harm the surface of the fruits or vegetables. So it will be good for delicate commodities. So let's see. Dry cleaning, as we know that we are using air or sometimes dry brushes or clothes to clean fruits and vegetables in dry cleaning. But we are saying here we are doing dry cleaning using air blowers. So air blower will be the good method for delicate commodities. Okay, so dry cleaning is basically used when with the help of the machines with brushes and is used in crops that can be adequately cleaned without water. So this is just without water. If we are cleaning, that means we are doing dry cleaning. So in this, what happens? Soft tissues and delicate commodities with large water adhering surface areas such as berries and the grapes, they are dry cleaned using air blowers or sometimes vacuum methods also because it causes less mechanical damage. So where we are having the berries or the grapes which are having soft and the delicate tissues and it has more water adhering surface. So what we do is we use air blowers and vacuum methods also so that there will be less mechanical damage to these commodities. Brushes loosen any leaf or lightly attached particle and give a polishing effect. So brushes are basically used in dry cleaning when we have to just remove, like in other commodities, not in case of grapes and the berries, but in the when we need to remove any leaf or lightly attached particle is there, and dry brushing can be done to remove white cottony mealy bugs. Sometimes we have seen that uh, like white cotton kind of uh, thing will be there on fruits or vegetable surface. So we can remove that with the help of simple brushing method. Attached in between the surface holes of the custard apple fruit. So basically we have seen that if the fruit is there, so sometimes in that here attachment part or if the fruit is having some surface which is like some surface holes are there. So what happens? These white cottony material we can see that, and we can remove it by simple brushing. So fruits and vegetables, they are suitable for dry cleaning, which includes like onion, garlic, okra. Okra means ladyfinger, then grapes, strawberries, and mushrooms. These can be cleaned using dry cleaning methods. We know that we have wet cleaning methods, or which we known as washing. We are doing washing. So what happens in wet cleaning methods? It is washed with clean water. Sometimes the clean water means sometimes chlorine, also chlorinated water is being also used to clean the water, and that chlorinated water is used to clean the fruits and vegetables. So clean water usually by putting in a water tank having a continuous flow of water and agitation. So we discussed that we will, it's like water plus agitation we are doing for in the case of wet cleaning, right? So washing under a shower with pressurized water is more helpful in case of when we soil from the root vegetables like carrots, radish, and turnips. So in the root vegetables, we need to remove soil which are very much stick to the surface. So we need to use pressurized water or some shower kind of system. And in the case of uh, like potato or other root vegetables, we can use rotary drum machines or barrel washers, and brush washers is used to clean individual fruits and vegetables. So the soil, dust particles, pesticide residues, and other foreign materials, they can be cleaned with the help of water and agitation in wet cleaning method. So we have five different washing methods. So it includes soaking. So soaking is just putting fruits or vegetable in some water bath, and water will be there, and we just need to soak. And some agitation system will also be there. In spraying, there will be some kind of sprayer will be there to spray the fruits or vegetable. Then drum rotation method. Rotating drum will be there in which fruits or vegetable will be inside the drum, and water will also be there to clean the surface. Rotating brush can be there. So brush will there, and water will also come with the brush to clean the surface of the fruits. Vibrate washers. So in some kind of vibration motion will be there, and the water will also be there, and fruits can vibrate and wash. Some kind of like this system will be there. From top water will come and it will vibrate, and fruits will going to be clean like this. In the wet cleaning method only, we have many classifications like soaking. We discussed about water spraying, rotating drum, then rotating brush, vibrates washer, and combination of other, these methods. So what happens? Soaking in flowing water or other liquids. So this kind of conveyor belt is there, and in this uh, the fruits are going, and they are like it's being soaked also, and soaked in water also, and moving with a conveyor belt. Only effective to eliminate dust and other impurities attached on the surface. So this can be a method as a pre-cleaning method. Second method is water sprayer. In this, what happens? Low pressure to high pressure is being used. So this kind of sprayers are there, which will going to clean the fruit. So which can have high pressure water or low pressure water. Or can be at any angle, like wide angle or straight angle to the product. So it will help to remove a firmly attached soil and dirt. So if the the soil or dirt is very much attached to the surface of the fruits or vegetables, so water spares can be used. This method can be basically used for a variety of products, but with the appropriate pressure settings. So we can change the pressure and we can use on different commodities. Then rotating drum is used for commercial scales, basically because of simple high capacity, immediate cleaning and minor damage to the product. So rotating drum is a commercial kind of method where high capacity of the product can be processed. So the level of cleanliness depend on the rotating drum speed, the roughness of the drum surface and the time of washing. So it depends on the rotating drum speed. Washing depends on rotating speed of the drum, the roughness of the surface of the drum, and how much time we are taking for washing. Then rotating brush is the method where what happens here is the rotating brushes are there. And here is the rotating brushes. So if the product will go, then we clean that product. So a brush that rotates and have higher efficiency. So this method is effective for removing the sand, clay or pesticide residues. Brush can be made from fiber, rubber or sponge material or other materials that can be replaced after wear out. So like this is the system. Then vibrate washer. So this tool is basically work by strong vibrations. So like this system is there where strong vibrations are there. So needs strong construction due to high vibration and repeated mechanical wear and tear. And fourth is that good washing process are basically a combination. So if we want to clean properly, we should apply these processes in combination so that the product can be cleaned properly. So in this question, we talked about delicate methods. So which is dry cleaning method, which is using air blowers, because in rotating drum, the drum will rotate and the drum surface is little abrasive, so that will going to harm the tube surface. In water sprayers, water pressure can damage, and in soaking, what happens? Uh, in the it's little less abrasive method in wet cleaning, but here also the agitation is there, so it can harm the foods product. So D is the correct answer, which is the most delicate is D. Let's move to this next question. Which of the following statement is correct about dry cleaning? So statement 1 is saying dry cleaning uses air blowers or dry brushes. Second is it is suitable for soft tissues and delicate commodities. Third is it uses chlorinated water for cleaning. Anyone? Suraj is saying A. 1 and 2. Dry cleaning uses air blowers or dry brushes and it is suitable for soft tissues and delicate commodities. Okay, Vishakha is also saying 1 and 2. Okay, so you guys are correct. 1 and 2 are correct. We already discussed this in detail. So we know that dry cleaning uses air blowers and also dry brushes, which are suitable for soft tissues and delicate commodities. So this option 2 correct, and It does not involve the use of chlorinated water because that is used in wet cleaning method. So this statement is incorrect. So A is correct option. Let's see the next question about sanitizer. So hydrogen peroxide comes under which of the following type of sanitizers? Halogen, ionic compounds, active oxygen compounds, irradiation and pulse light treatments. So anyone would like to answer? B, C. So we got two answers, B and C. Let's see. C is the correct answer. Active oxygen compounds, because we know that this in the sanitizers, we have many classes like halogen, which includes chlorine. Then we have chlorine dioxide, iodine, and bromide. Then we have in ionic compounds, we have trisodium phosphate and quaternary ammonium compounds, and then we have organic acids. In active oxygen compounds, hydrogen peroxide, peracetic acid, and ozone. Fourth, irradiation and pulse light treatment, which includes ionizing radiations, ultraviolet light, and infrared light, and the combination of methods which uses these methods, combination of these methods. So the hydrogen peroxide basically it comes under this one, active oxygen compounds. So we as per the usage, so hydrogen peroxide should be used less than 59 ppm. So when blended with acetic acid, and it can be applied to fruits and vegetables. So, and it is environment friendly, and it is regarded as safe by FDA to use as one of the sanitizers, and its higher concentration if we are using uh, that can cause some of the disadvantage, which is like browning and sometimes bleaching it can do in certain produce, and can be sometimes at higher concentration corrosive and irritating, and it is basically unstable and degrades faster. So this is hydrogen peroxide, which comes under active oxygen compounds. So is this question clear? Can we move to this next question? So this next question is about which of the following statement is correct about the use of sanitizing agents. It is also about sanitizing agents. So sanitizing agents can completely eliminate microbial contamination. First statement, and second statement is sanitizing agents should be stored separately from fresh produce. Third is employees must wear protective clothing when handling alkaline or acid agents. Fourth is use of sanitizing agents is regulated as pesticide agents. Option D, Kavi. Option D, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Vichakha 2, 3, and 4. So we have 2 as 2, 3, and 4. Option D. Let's see solution of this question. So option D is correct, 2, 3 and 4. So we know as per handling and use of sanitizing agents under good cleaning practices and protocols, that it is mentioned that storage of sanitizers must be separated from the fresh produce and packaging material. So second statement is correct. Then carefully follow specific handling and usage instruction for each product. So we should follow whatever the rules are there for specific guidelines for each product we should follow. Then sanitizers are classified as basically pesticide agents. So there are some country specific regulations. In each country there are different regulations for different compounds of the sanitizers. So that proper disposal should be followed, which is statement 4 is also correct. Then the employees must wear the PPE, which is protective gears. They should wear like goggles, gloves, and protective clothing when they are using alkaline or acid agents. And the training of the employees and operators should be done regularly so that they can handle, then they can practice these sanitizers safely and they can prepare it safely. So statement 3 is also correct. Then as per the correct sanitizing procedures under good cleaning practices and protocols, we should have the sanitizing agents that cannot come. So we have basically all the sanitizing agents are like that, that they cannot completely eliminate microbial contamination, but just reduce that. So because we need to use at the low, not at the very higher concentration, we cannot use the sanitizers. We should use the sanitizer in the lower concentration. So statement 1 is, sorry, incorrect, because cannot completely eliminate, but yes, it is saying can. So it's incorrect. Let's move to this question. Which of the following equipment is used to remove iron particles from spices, like sifter, air tables, magnetic separators,
Magnetic.
destoners? So Suraj is saying C, Kavi is saying C, magnetic separators. Vishakha is also saying C. Okay, so everyone is saying C, which is correct also. So when we are cleaning the spices, we have these all 4 equipments. So for removing the iron particles, we use magnetic separators, which includes magnets, so that iron particles and other metal pieces which are there in the spices, they can be removed. And when we are next, if we are doing the grinding operation, so that if the iron particle will be there, they can damage the blades of the grinder. So that can also be removed with the magnetic separator. So since the iron particles are removed, then only if they come into contact with, so what happens here is the in the conveyor belt, blue is the magnetic particle. So magnetic particle will come, and this is the magnet here. So this magnet will, so the iron particle will be with magnet for the longer time. So it will fall here, and the product is non-magnetic, so it will fall little early. Then, so magnetic separator is the correct answer, but let's see what is sifter, air tables, and destoners. So the basically sifter is grading the particles based on the size and the shape. What happens? Sifters, it basically removes particles of the wrong size from the product by the help of the set of the vibrating sieves. So there will be many sieves which will be vibrating, and the sieve mesh size will be particular, and that's why it helps. That why it will use the principle of size and shape for separation. The efficiency of the sifters, it basically depends on the uniform size of the product. Sifting, it may not be 100% efficient if the product are not of uniformly spherical or round, because we have mesh, particular size mesh, and particle should pass through that. In such cases, if the sifting operation become difficult and does not clean the product efficiently, if the no, so we should have uniform size of the product so that sifting operation can be efficient. Then air table, like this system is there, where what happens, it separates based on the density. So like this tables are there, air tables. So what happens? Air table separates light and heavy particles. So based on density, it separates. And what happens? The spices is put on a wire mesh screen fixed to the table. So here there will be mesh with the table, and a stream of air is passed through the screen. So here air will also be there, and product will be uh, on the mesh. The product will be there, and what happens, because air is there, so light particles will be suspended higher in the air, and they will be forced out by the air. So light particles, they will float and they will separate, while the heavy particles, they will be at the bottom and they will not be able to move. So they will separate uh, from the lighter particles. So rotational vibration is adjusted so that heavy particles are pushed up the screen by repeated tapping. So like this, this is the feed zone. So from here particle, we are putting the feed, and it is having little bit, this mesh is little bit tilted also. So what happens? This is the higher side and this is the lower side. Based on this, and air will also be there. So what happens? Lighter and it's vibrating also. So what happens? Because of all these motions, the heavier and the lighter particle will be separated. So the tilt, the rotational vibration of the screen and the airflow, they will be adjusted if we want to we have to clear or clean the certain spices. So it's based, we need to fix the parameters based on the product. These toners, basically it separates based on the density, size and shape. So these toners work according to the same principle as air tables, and they are generally smaller than air tables. So they also have the same mechanism, that they remove heavy stones or the pieces of rocks, while air tables basically separate the product into as many groups as necessary. So air tables are more efficient, than more like, first we can use destoners to remove the stones, and then we can use air tables for specific gradation of smaller particles. The airflow, inclination and vibration of the screen, and the type of the screen, they can be adjusted as per the material. We have these four separators: sifters, air tables, magnetic separators and destoners for cleaning the spices, where irons can be removed with the help of magnetic separator. So next, let's see the next question, which is about like cleaning operation of spices only. So which of the following statement are correct regarding cleaning operation for spices? So we discussed just now regarding sifters, air tables, destoners, and indented cylinder, indented separator we have not discussed, but rest three we have discussed. So I think it will be easy to answer. So sifter remove particles based on size and shape. Air tables separate based on density. These stoners are used to remove heavy stones and particles, pieces of rocks, and intent separator work on the principle of air flow. So Vishakha is writing already. Option C. Kavi Suraj, option C. Vishakha 1, 2, 3. So everyone is saying of that C is correct answer. So let's see the answer. Yes, C is the correct answer. We already know that the sifters they remove the particles based on size and shape. Air tables based on the density. These stoners they remove heavy stones and the pieces of rocks. We know all these things. So these three correct answer. But we but this indent separator, it works basically on the differences in shape, not the airflow method. So let's see how indent separators work. So what happens in indent separators? Uh, the difference in the shape between the herbs or the spices and the foreign material will be used as a basis of the separation. The herbs or spices is fed into one end of the rotating drum. So here, like we are feeding the spices or the herbs uh, of the revolving drums with rows of uniformly shaped indentations designed to fit only the herb or the spices being separated. So here, this revolving drum, this rotating drum, if we see in the zoomed image, they have these indentations, right? So these these are of the shape of the our food product. Okay. So as a drum revolves, because of the centrifugal force, the desired materials, which are our food product, they will come in these cavities, and the other foreign materials, they remain in the center of the drum. So our food product will come here in this indented indents, and the foreign material, it will come in the center because it will not able to fit. The rotational forces, which what they will do, they will move the herbs and the spices out of the machine, and it will be collected separately and disposed of. So these indents, we need to design it differently for different spices and herbs, because every spice and the herb are of like different shapes and the size. So we need to design it for separately for each spices and the herb. So this is incorrect. So anyone have any doubt regarding working of these sifters, air tables, destoners, indent separators, or magnetic separator? If you have any doubt, can you please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we are moving to this next question, which of the following is used for the separating spherical spices seeds from non-spherical materials? So air tables, pneumatic separators, indented separators, and spiral gravity separators. So which option is correct? Option C, Kavi, Vishakha is D. Okay, let's discuss if no, if we have, okay, we have two answers, C and D. So let's see which one is correct. So D is correct answer. Spiral gravity separators being used for the separation of the spherical spices with the non-spherical spices. So what happens? This kind of spiral, this is a spiral gravity separator. So what happens? Here we have like we have the like when we are putting our feed at the top. So what will happen? Because the round seeds or are of the round shape, so they'll come like they will come very quickly with the slope and they will collect fast. But the non spherical materials will not come so fast at the bottom and they'll collect separately. So spiral gravity separators, they are used to separate spherical spice seeds from non-spherical materials, including other seeds and rodents, extract, etc. Rodents extract excretes. Okay. So what happens sometimes when we have spices? So we have these foreign materials also. So they can be separated. Like in the we see mustard seeds. Like if we talk about mustard seeds, so they are perfectly round. So they will, with the help of the slope, they will come very fast at the bottom. The spiral separator consists of the U-shaped trough that curves downwards into a spiral through which the spiral spice seeds like the white or the black pepper or the mustard seeds, they are fed at the top of the separator. So they will be fed at the top, and because of the curves of the they will and the slope, they will come faster. So they gain speed as they roll down the down the slope. And what happens because they'll have because they are round, so they can pick up the speed, and the centrifugal force will help to drive them so that they will come. Also, we can see that the gravitational force will also apply for and help to come faster. Non-spherical particles or the seeds, they are basically uh, or the low dense seed, they cannot achieve that same speed, so they cannot slide down that faster. So because their shape is not round, so like if the shape is little ellipse or other shape, so they'll not able to attain that much of speed. So there will be a divider at the bottom. So what will happen? That will help to separate the spices, seeds with the foreign particles. Because based on the shape, then the spiral separators do not require a motor or a blower. So it does not require any uh, external like motor or blower. So it will be very energy efficient process because everything is like the uh, uh, separation is going to happen with the help of the gravitational forces and the centrifugal forces. So this is the correct answer. which is spiral gravity separators. And let's see what is pneumatic separator, because we have not discussed about it. So pneumatic separators, they use the from bottom. Suppose this is air is coming, so a thin stream of the hub from here feed we are putting from the top. So a thin stream of the herbs or spice is made to fall through a horizontal air flow. So from above the feed will come, and from below the air will come, and what happens, the lighter particles will flow with the air, and the heavier particle, it will fall at the bottom. So based on the density, size and shape, the separation will going to happen in pneumatic separators. So here answer is D, because spiral gravity separators are the one which will going to separate completely based on the shape, which is spherical or non-spherical. Is this question clear? Can we move to next question? Okay, which of the following statement is are correct with respect to the sizing of the fruits and vegetables? So now we are discussing about sizing. Separation is done, now sizing. So sizing of fruits and vegetables is done either by hand or machine. Machine sizers work on three basic principles: weight, diameter, and volume. Sizing rollers, it increases the space between the rollers to separate larger produce from the smaller ones. And mesh screens are generally used for sizing of the citrus fruits. Anyone who would like to answer this question? Vishakha has already answered as 1, 2, D option. Kavi is saying option D. Asharya is saying option D. Okay, everyone is saying option D. Let's discuss this question. Option A is correct about this sizing. So what happens? Sizing is done by hands and the machine, which is correct. So the machine sizers, they work on the two basic principles, which includes weight and diameter, but not the volume. So this option, because of volume, it is incorrect. Then most effective for spherical commodities like the oranges, tomatoes, apple cultivators, it is good for most effective for spherical commodities. So this sizing is good for the spherical commodities like oranges, tomatoes, and apples, and also for the elongated commodities like apple and pears. So mesh screens are generally used for sizing the citrus fruits. Is not correct. And the sizing rollers, basically they will have, sorry, so sizing rollers, they will have the basically the spaces between the rollers, so they'll be good to separate the large produce from the smaller ones. So basically we have different sizing machines like diverging belts or the ropes, graders, and they will basically have the different speed of the belt, which will make produce rotate besides moving forward to a point where produce diameter equals belt and rope separation. So it will be used for cucumbers, gherkins, pineapple, and large root vegetables. So it will have it is having different speed of rotating belts. So if the belts are moving with different speed, so what will going to happen? The separation will going to happen because every produce is having different shape, size, and diameter. So based on that, the separation is there. Then next is the sizing roller. So what happens? It has spaces, different spaces, so which will help to separate. So it has increased spaces between the rollers that separate longer produce from the smaller one, like the citrus fruits. So third one is handheld template. So where what happens, sizing can be performed manually using rings. So we have the rings of known diameter. So that will allow only certain diameter of the food products can pass through. Others will be on like the greater size of the food particle will be at top. Only the smaller one and of the same size will going to pass over this ring. Then sizing by the help of weight. So weight sensitive trays will be there, which will select some fruit into another belt and aggregates all unit mass of the same mass. So what will happen? It will separate, it will have some weight sensitive machine. So when fruit is passing, it will take same weights on one side and the other weight on another side. Then mesh screens, which has the application used for potatoes, onions, anolas. So it will size, based on the size, it will separate. So from this, we can say that sizing rollers, they can be, they have basically the rolls. So based on the distance between these two rollers, the separation will going to happen from the large to small product. So 3 is correct answer. Whereas this mesh screens, it is not for citrus fruits. It is for potatoes, onions, and avla or anola. So this option is, fourth one is incorrect. So 1 and 3, they are correct. Citrus fruits are basically separated using sizing rollers, not from mesh screens. Okay. Also, based on weights, we can separate the citrus and fruits and the apples and the pears, such products, but not with the help of the mesh screens. Is this question clear to everyone? Can we move to this next question? Okay. Which of the following is a volatile emission analyzer, NRI spectrophotometer, then magnetic resonance imaging, ENOS, or X-ray imaging? Option C. We are saying option C, electronic nose. Okay. Suraj C, electronic nose. Vishakha C. Okay, so let's see the answer. Electronic nose, all of you are correct. So what happens? Electronic nose, basically what it does is a system of chemical sensors which are connected to a pattern recognition system. So that can analyze and compare different orders based on their unique signal patterns, and that's why identification of specific aroma can be done. So it will, this electronic nose basically it will be used to analyze the volatile compounds or the aroma compounds in the food products. So let's take one example. Suppose this is a flour or some food product, anything. So what happens usually in biological system, what humans nose will going to smell these compounds. Based on that, so the nose is taking the data collection part. Then what happens? The neural system uh, in the nose, it will take the data and process the data. And these neural system, they're connected to the brain. So brain will going to analyze and think that, okay, last time this kind of aroma or this kind of volatile compounds uh, come like this, that this particular compound. So brain memory. So from the brain memory, particular compounds or particular signals which are sent from the neural system, they will be detected. Okay, this compound is this. So we can understand. Okay, this kind of sense we get that. Okay, and then we can evaluate. Okay, this smell is of this food product. Okay. Whereas what happens when there is this e-nose, it will take the data, which is it will take the smell, collect the smell based on the sensors or sensor. Many sensors will be there, which will take chemical. So that's why we are saying that it is chemical sensor. So it will take all the volatiles or the chemical compounds with the help of the sensory array, sensor arrays, and then what will happen? The signal the signal will be processed or that whatever. So these sensors, they'll generate some electronic signals which will be processed and analyzed, and finally the identification of the compound is done. So this is the all electronic noise, how it will going to function. So this is the process. So what happens? We have the library in certain library of the compounds that of the aroma, that this volatile, this chemical compounds uh, is there in this particular food. So from that library, the this e-nose will going to detect which kind of the flavor or which kind of the aroma compound is there in that particular food product. So other techniques, what is, so let's see NIR, which is near infrared spectrophotometer. What is this and how it's useful in food? So it is near infrared spectrophotometer. It's basically a non-destructive technique which is used to analyze the TSS of the fruit sometimes. So what happens? It takes the absorbance of the material. Based on that, it will analyze, and near infrared region it will work, which is 750 to 2500 nanometer regions in the electromagnetic spectrum. So which is this region, so in the electromagnetic spectrum. So this in near infrared radiation will come on the particular food product. So this is our food product. So such some amount of the radiation, some amount of the uh, infrared radiation. So the food will going to absorb and some it will transmit. So whatever the food is absorbed, how much energy or the photons food has absorbed, based on that, the compound identification is being done. So basically, it is like it works on the principle of vibrational absorption spectroscopy. So what happens whenever some photon which is in the range of this near infrared range 750 to 250 nanometer. So this radiation and the photons will be absorbed by this food product. So whatever the done by the food product, that will be uh, considered for the detector and can be detected. Okay, and that's why based on those the food product or its TSS, like if the TSS in the food product, these can be detected. So this is the this is vibrational absorption spectro. Means what will going to happen when the photon is coming, the atoms, it will take those photons and it will going to vibrate, and based on that chemical, so based on that the determination of chemical composition of the compounds or the solution can be done by measuring how much near infrared radiation the compound or the solution absorbs. So how much absorption is done, based on that the chemical composition is being analyzed. So it is based on the Beers-Lambert law. So everyone knows Beers-Lambert law. Can anyone tell me what is Beers-Lambert law? What is Beers-Lambert law? So what happens in Beers-Lambert law? If we have the spectrophotometer and some radiation is coming, so some radiation is going to absorb by the material, transmitted. So the absorption is directly proportional to C, which is concentration of the material, and L. L is the path length. So how much this is the L value. So this how much path length it is following. So this is the Beers-Lambert law. So basically, it is a common technique for food detection, which provides spectral extending and bending feedback that involves the chemical bond of CH, NH, SH, or OH. So what happens if we have food product? It will have many chemical bonds like CH. So when the photons are coming, this CH bond, either it will going to stretch, like it will be stretched, this bond will be stretched, or it will be stretching, shrinking, or it may bend. So like this, it may bend. So because based on these, uh, so these are the vibrations, or it may undergo rocking. So it will the bond will rock also. So all these terms are there. So for the vibration, so it will take the photons and starts vibrating, and these vibrations can be help for the chemical composition analysis of the food product, because we know how much is the if the absorption, we know this much absorption is done, we can understand what is the concentration of particular compound in the food product. Next is the X-ray imaging. So what is X-ray imaging in food product? So X-rays are the one which are the uh, ionizing radiations and it is in the range of 0.01 to 10 nanometers. Basically, X-rays are used to detect the physical contamination, like if there is metal, glass, or stone is there in the food product. So based on the X-ray imaging, we can separate these foreign materials. Okay. So it's based on the differential absorption. So what happens, X-ray, when it is coming on the like the food product, what will going to happen? Different materials, they will absorb X-rays at different rates based on their density. So based on the density, different density, lighter product will absorb the X-rays differently than the heavier one. So when X-rays, they are passing through a food product which are having the different densities. So what will happen? Different level of absorption of X-rays will be happen, and the denser material like the stones or the bones or the rocks, they absorbs more X-rays and appear darker. So stones and the bones and other things will be more darker, and the on the other compounds which will be like the food product, maybe some lighter compound, they'll be little lighter, like they have little lighter. So this foreign material can be taken out, and this food product can be processed. Then what is magnetic resonance imaging in the food? So it is X-ray are the ionizing one, but MRI uses the non-ionizing radiations, and this is non-invasive technology. Going to happen here is, if we have this, suppose any molecule, so atomic particles, they will interact with the magnetic field. So when atomic particles, they will be in the magnetic field, so they'll align as per the north and the south pole. If north and the south pole we are applying, so all the particles or the photons or all the atoms, they'll going to align based on the north and the south pole of the magnet. And then after that, what happens, we will going to apply some of the radio frequency. After aligning, we will apply radio frequency. So if we apply the radio frequency, what will going to happen, it's this alignment will going to change, right? And when we remove the radio frequency, the alignment will going to be the same as original. So based on that, the MRI works. So atomic particles basically interact with an external magnetic field and emit energy at specific frequencies. So that can be taken as emitted signal intensity, and images of that tissue can be made. So what happens, it creates strong magnetic field. So there will be the alignment as per the magnetic field of the protons which are present in the water and the fat in the food product. So in food product, we have water and fat, and in the water and fat we have protons. When the protons get the magnetic field, they'll align in certain direction. After that, the radio frequency, which is in the 3 kilohertz to 300 gigahertz, it will be coming. So what will happen, which will induce resonance, and these fats and the water content, this protons, they will going to change they'll from their position, and when the radio frequency will not be there, they'll come back to the original position. So based on that, we can find the fat and the water content in the food product, and we can also find the salt and water distribution in the food products, and we can form an image of a food product based on this. So these are the advanced or the novel technologies for the separation for the sorting in the food products. So if we talk about the volatile emissions, so electronic nose is the one which is going to detect. Are these techniques clear to everyone, or you have some doubt regarding these techniques? Can we move to the next question if you don't have doubt? Now let's discuss about peeling. Which of the following factors does not affect the peeling process? Skin thickness, firmness, color of the peel, rupture force. So we got to answer color of the peel. Let's see. So they both are correct. Color of the peel does not affect the peeling process. So we have the factors which affect the peeling process like skin thickness, firmness, toughness, variety, rupture force, cutting force, maximum shearing force, shear strength, tensile strength, and rupture strength, but not the color of the peel. So this is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. Abrasion and non-abrasion type of peeling comes under which of the following type of peeling? Mechanical, chemical, thermal, and enzymatic. Option A, mechanical. Okay. So you three guys are correct that mechanical is the correct answer. So basically in peeling what we do is we remove unwanted and inedible material so that we can improve the appearance of final product. So it can be used basically as a primary processing method when we are preparing the fruits and vegetables for another processing operations. So we do peeling because we want to minimize the cost by removing as little of the underlying food as possible, then to leave the peel surface clean and undamaged, and to reduce energy, labor, and effluent treatment cost, we can do this peeling operation. And then we have different peeling techniques, like we have manual peeling, mechanical peeling, which has abrasion and non-abrasion. Then we have chemical peeling, which is live peeling, and thermal, hot water or steam peeling, infrared, flame peeling, and based on ultrasound assisted. And then last is the enzymatic peeling. Also, we have like the conventional peeling methods, which are the hot water, steam, and live peeling, which is chemical methods. But nowadays, novel methods are come into the picture, which is like ohmic heating, ultrasonic peeling, and then infrared radiation based peeling, and enzymatic peeling. So in mechanical peeling, basically commercial mechanical peelers, which are abrasive devices, and the drums, rollers, knives, and the milling cutters, they'll come into mechanical peeling. We have in this three types. One is power operated batch type mechanical peeler, which is used to peel the potato. So it has the peeling drum like this. It will have drum where the food product will be there, and it has protrusions and on the inside surface like this. And what happens when the drum rotates, then the peel will going to detach with the help of the abrasion force, and the peeler basically it provided with a warm water spraying that washes the potato and simultaneously peel. So it will be like peeling with the abrasion because it has these indent kind of things on the inside surface, and simultaneously the water will also come so that potato will wash and peel simultaneously. Then abrasion peeler will also be there. What happens here? It has a drum which is coated with rough abrasive material. So this is the drum. So it has some kind of abrasive material like carbon drum, and then it has a motor which rotates the drum. So whenever the some raw vegetable or the potato will be there inside the drum, so the so it will rotate, and because it has the abrasive surface, so the peeling mechanism peeling is done, and peeling that the peels can be removed using the water. So irregular shaped fruits and vegetables can be peeled uniformly by this method, and it is suitable for root vegetables also. Then non-abrasive peelers, it will be used for garlics and the cloves. So it involves peeling using cutting blade, knives, and other mechanical devices. So it is basically carried out for rough skinned materials like garlic and the cloves. So what happens? Domestic garlic peelers, like we have folding jars with the lid, we can use it for peeling of the garlic. So inside the jar, a helical grooved nylon shaft is placed. So this is the shaft, grooved shaft, which is there inside this jar. So which will rotate using the motor. So motor rotates the nylon shaft at very high speed. Because of the rotational speed of the shaft, the garlic bulbs they will experience certain impact force and break. So the broken cloves, yeah, this is garlic cloves is a one sentence, one complete. This is not comma. So between the cloves and also between the surface and the cloves. So there will be like two garlic cloves. They will have some impact and forces, and with the surface also they'll have impact force. So because of this motion, this forces, the peeling is being carried out. So this abrasive and non-abrasive peeling, it comes in mechanical one. Next question, let's see which peeling method is best suited for delicate fruits and vegetables. Abrasive, mechanical, hand peeling, or chemical peeling. Anyone would like to answer? Vishakha A, Suraj A. Okay, no. C, Kavya C. Okay, C, hand peeling. Let's see. Hand peeling is the correct answer. So, manual or hand peeling, it is actually best for the delicate fruits and vegetables as it causes less damage compared to other methods. It is done very gently by hands, with a sharp knife. Manual peeling is basically performed using stationary or rotatory hand peelers sometimes. So we have peelers, sometimes knife, and we can gently uh, take the uh, surface of the or the take the peel out of the fruits or vegetables. Fresh cut fruits and vegetables with good microbial quality can be obtained by this method, and knife peeling can cause less wounding compared to the abrasion peeling. But this method can be applied just to small scale process because it is very laborious and time consuming. We have another method like chemical peeling or live peeling. So it involves basically immersion. Like if we have any fruit, we should immerse it into some solution, lye solution. So solution which is hot alkaline solution of 1 to 2% sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide for a specific amount of time. We should dip the fruits. When the lye solution comes in contact with the skin or the pericarp, what will happen? The epicuticular wax, it dissolves and it cleaves the bond of the two galactouronic acid units by dissolving the pectin and the hemicellulose in the cell wall. So the solution then penetrates in the epidermis tissues through the skin into the flesh or mesocarp. So this process basically weaks the whole network of the skin, and the skin structure will collapse, and that's why it will separate it from the fruit. And it can be done with the uh, like ultrasonic assisted one, and also with the ohmic heating also. So this is the chemical method, but the best peeling for delicate fruits. And let's see this question. In the universal code, the first digits, blank digits, are a number assigned to specific producers, packagers, or shippers. First two digits, first four digits, or first five digits. Anyone would like to share his or her on this question? E. Suraj, okay, first five digits. You are correct. Five digits should be there telling the specific producer. So basically, universal product code, 10-digit machine readable. So what happens? The first digits is for specific product or the package shipper. The second five digits is about product information such as the product shape or which type of product it is there. So this is kind of universal product happens. Here is the left two and two here right guard bars. And here first can we numbers there 0, then guards will be there. This digit, first five digit will tell about, and then there will be center bars, and last five digit will specific about the product, and last at the end there will be. So like this we have bars. Next is the about the packaging, which the following statement about flexible plastic films is our correct. Plastic like LDPE, PVC, PP, and CA are used for packaging horticulture produce. Films are mainly used as pouches with holes punched at regular intervals to allow respiration. They are available in a narrow range of thickness and grade, cannot be engineered to control the environment gases inside the pouch. Okay, so Suraj is saying D, 1, 2, and 4. Anyone else? Let's see the solution. This A is correct. Are correct. So what happens? Plastic films like LDPE, PVC, PP, and CA used to pack the horticulture product, which is correct. These films are mostly used with holes punched at regular intervals so that respiration of the food product can be done. So this is stage of the cabbage. Okay, so here are the holes. If we see, this is the hole, this is the hole, fire. 1 and 2 are correct, but they are available in wide thicknesses and grades, not the narrow range, which is this is narrow range. So statement 3 is not correct. Engineered to control the environmental gases inside the pouch, whereas they can be engineered to control the environmental gases inside the pouch. So this is also incorrect. So 1 and 2. Is this question clear to everyone? Is this question clear to everyone? So Suraj, you said D, but it's A, 1 and 2. Fourth option is also correct, incorrect. Fourth, so 1, 2 only correct. Can we move to next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Which of the following statement is correct about blown film extrusion? Blown film extrusion, it uses compressed air and a set of nip rolls to stretch the film. The second statement is saying the blown film extrusion utilizes a more amount of floor space but requires minimal height. C. Blown film extrusion is primarily used for single layer packaging films. D. High output blown film towers are relatively low in height. Basically, this blown film extrusion and cast extrusion is done to make flexible polymeric films, and we need to tell which statement is correct out of these four. Ravi, option B. B. Oh. A. Okay, A option. Let's see. A is the correct answer. That the blown film extrusion basically uses compressed air and a set of nipples to the film. So blown film extrusion basically it is extensively utilized to fabricate multi-layered packaging films so that the property like mechanical, transport properties and the thermal properties can be improved. And it basically uses compressed air and a set of nipples to stress the film. It utilizes the least amount of floor space because it is like this. In height, it's more, but it needs a lot of height. So this is correct, but this is not correct because it utilizes less floor space, but height should be more. High output blown film towers are several stories height. So basically high output blown film towers, they are relatively low in height, which is wrong. They are very good in height. And it is basically used for not single layer, but it's used for multi-layer, this multi-layer packaging films. So this is the blown film extrusion. So it is like this, height is more. So what happens? Here first there will be some extrusion system will be there. So first what happen if we should give the feed to this extrusion machine so that liquid or molten polymer can come out. So the molten polymer will help film extrusion. Uh, so polymer extrudates exiting from the extruder head into the die. So what is happening? Feed is going into the extrusion unit. So what happen if feed is going in like from the hopper, we give feed to the extrusion system. So molten polymer will come and here at the end there will be some die. So in the from whatever is the shape of the die, polymer will come with that shape. So here will be the die, this B point will be the die end. So from this polymer will come and air will also come and then this happens, okay. So the die converts a solid flow of molten polymer to a hollow tube of molten polymer. So initially from when the polymer will come out of this die, it will be like solid. But what happens, air will also go. So from this E-ring, this is a ring. Here is a ring and here is a polymer coming. So solid polymer is coming because of the help of the air. This will convert into the hollow tube and the outlet of the tubular die is at the 90 degrees. So what happens? It will go like from with the help of the guiding rolls. This will go up and here these two sheets they will converge and here at the eye it will wind up. So the molten polymer flows around the mandrel and emerges through a round opening also called ring to form a tube referred to as a bubble in the vertical direction. So here this solid solid polymer will become like this big hollow tube. Then air is blown in through the die head into the ring and thereby inflating the tube into the tubular bubble. So this tube is then flattened. So here there are the nip rolls at the top here So where these two sheets of the polymer, they will be flattened, and then this is the winder which is going to wind this polymer sheets. So this is blown film extrusion. So this is very high in height, and it takes multiple packaging films, and it is having like air, compressed air, which will going to blow the polymer and make hollow tubes, and then there will be nip rolls which will going to stretch polymer and convert it into here one sheet. The connection okay. Okay. Is this question clear to everyone? Hello, am I audible? Is this question clear to everyone?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Let's move to next question. Which of the following statements is correct regarding the components of wood cell wall and their properties? Cellulose has fiber forming property. Hemicellulose is responsible for the hydration of pulp and development of bonding during the beating process. Lignin is a natural binding constituent of wood cells with no fiber forming ability. Paper can only be manufactured from cotton seed hair. So we know that wood is basically used for the paper manufacturing, and the paper manufacturing is used for the packaging. Papers can be used for packaging. So this wood cell wall, it will have three components: cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. So we have four statements regarding that. So we need to tell which is the correct one. Anyone would like to answer? Okay, let's discuss the solution. 1, 2, and 3 are correct. So what happens is that the cellulose, it is basically fiber forming for properties, because cellulose is a polymer and it is like a fiber, so it forms fiber. And all these are like already discussed in this table is being basically taken from Mishra sir's slide. So you can see there also. Hemicellulose basically it is responsible for the hydration of the pulp and development of bonding during beating process, and lignin's work is it's a natural binding constituent of wood cell, and it is not having fiber forming property. So this three statements can be manufactured from various raw materials like cotton seed hair, flax leaves, sunflower stalks, and agricultural waste. So this fourth statement is not correct. Is this question clear to everyone? Can we move to next one? Can we move to this next question? Which of the following statements is correct about corrugated fiber board, which is CFB? So the raw material for CFB is mainly kraft paper. However, agave bagasse byproduct from the textile industry has also been used. And then second statement is it is consist of 2 or more layers of flat kraft paper, liners, and layer of corrugated material which is known as flute, sandwiched between the flat layers to provide cushioning effect and abrasion resistance. Third statement is flute material is developed using corrugators, which involves passage of flat kraft paper between two serrated rolls, followed by application of adhesive to the tip of the corrugations, and the liner is stuck to the corrugated material using pressure. And fourth is the primary purpose of the corrugated fiber board is to provide aesthetic value to the packaging. Anyone would like to answer this question? Anyone? One, two, and three, Vishakha. Okay. So you are correct. One, two, three, correct answer. So these are kind of the CFBs or corrugated fiber boards. So the raw material for CFB, basically it is mainly kraft paper. However, agave bagasse, which is the byproduct of textile industry, it can also be used. And it consists of 2 or more layers of the flat kraft paper, which is liner, and the layers of corrugated material, which is flute. So this is the liners, and this is the flute sandwich between two flat layers to provide so that like this is their structure, which is helping to provide and cushioning effect and abrasion resistance. The flute material basically it is developed using corrugator. So this is the corrugation process of the CFB. So what happens, which involves passage of the flat kraft paper. So this is the flat kraft paper roll, which will come between the two serrated rolls. So and the corrugation will going to happen because these rolls, this one roll, this second roll, from this the flat paper will come and it will become corrugated and going to stick with this flat paper. So followed by the application of adhesive to the tips of the corrugation, and liner is stuck to the corrugated material using pressure. So what happens here? since this roll is going to apply pressure also, and this paper, sorry, this rolls, they are providing some kind of adhesive material and pressure. So from this craft paper, first the flat craft paper will come, it will become the corrugated, and then glue will going, or some adhesive material will be attached to that, and from this rolls, they'll be forced, and like the pressure will put on the flat craft paper, and the corrugated one will stick to that. Then finally, the purpose of the corrugated fiber board, it is to provide the cushioning effect and the abrasion resistance, not the aesthetic value. So fourth option is incorrect. Rest are correct. Let's see the next question. Which of the following statement are correct regarding the storage of fruits and vegetables? Cold storage reduces respiration rate. Controlled atmosphere storage maintains specific gas concentration. Ethylene gas accelerates ripening. High humidity is detrimental to all the fruits and vegetables. So anyone would like to tell? So let's see. We see. We see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you guys are correct. C is correct answer. So cold storage is basically um, it reduces respiration rate because the temperature there is low, and we know from the Brenthoff rule that when there is a 10-degree increase in temperature, so the biological reaction rates, it will be 2 to 3 times. But if the temperature is low, so what is going to happen? The degradation or the ripening, the respiration rates will also going to be lesser. High humidity is beneficial for some fruit products like leafy vegetables or the cabbage or the cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, like that, so that they'll not dehydrate, or the transpiration rate will be low. Controlled atmosphere storage maintain specific gas concentration like oxygen, specific oxygen and CO2 concentration, so that shelf life of and storage temperature will also be low, so that the shelf life will be higher. This is a type of the cold storage where the gas cylinders will be there to control the gas. Like for apples, basically cold storage is being used. So there the temperature and the humidity and the gas concentration, everything will be going to control. Ethylene is basically a natural gas plant hormone which controls also and speed up the respiration process of fluids. So 1, 2, and 3 is correct. Fourth is incorrect. The last time we have some questions regarding hot water blanching. So let's discuss the blanching and which blanching is good. So there are different kind of blanching process like hot water, steam blanching, microwave blanching, ohmic blanching, and infrared blanching. So hot water blanching basically uses hot water like 70 to 100 degrees Celsius, and the product will be like soaked or immersed or dipped into the water. So what will going to happen after that? The water will be taken separate, and food product will be taken separate, and the food product will be cooled so that to decrease the temperature. This is the hot water blanching. So this has many limitations, like it loses water soluble nutrients during blanching, like vitamins, flavors, minerals, carbohydrates, sugars, and proteins. Also, the thermal degradative or thermal sensitive substances like ascorbic acid, aroma, flavor compounds, they will also degrade. And the discharge wastewater, it will have the higher concentration of biochemical soluble solids and chemical oxygen demand. Uh, so like when, because these compounds, they will leach out and dissolve in the water like sugar, or the proteins or the carbohydrates or the water soluble minerals or the water soluble compounds, they will leach out in the water, and finally the wastewater which is being discharged, it will be higher in the biochemical composition or the soluble solids. So that wastewater will be difficult to treat and will become environmental pollution. So these are the limitations of the hot water blanching. It will not only affect the product nutrition value or the thermal sensitive compounds, it also affects the environment, like the discharge water is also not good for the environment. So we need to treat, so industry needs to treat that wastewater, which is also high cost. Then there is a steam blanching process. So in that, superheated steam is being used as a heating media for blanching because it has high enthalpy, but it has several limitations, like if the product layer is very thick, so steam cannot penetrate and will be like the non-uniform blanching will be there, and sometimes the softening of tissue will be there, which is an undesirable quality change. Which results in uh, long heating time also. So it is it is not good in some cases. Then there will be novel technology methods like the microwave blanching. So microwave blanching uses the microwaves which is in the range of 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. So what happens uh, when there will be microwave rate energy will be there, so material will absorb that, and like the water or the polar compounds, they'll be showing dipole polarization like that. So what happens? Material, it absorbs microwave energy and convert it into heat by dielectric heating effect caused by molecular dipole rotation and agitation of charged ions within a high frequency alternating field. So when there when there will be microwaves, so the food product, what it will go, it will absorb, and like water is H2O is there in food product, so it is a highly polar compound. So what will this water molecule do? It will align based on the electric field, alternating electric field. If the positive, so it will like this, one is positive, one is negative. So if the positive electric field is this side, positive is this side, and negative is this side, electric field. So what happened? The molecule will try to align itself, and then if the alternating field is there, like if here if negative and then positive, then this water molecule will again try to align itself. So based on that, this oscillating electric field and water content is very high. So what happens? It will align this water molecule uh, itself in the direction of the electromagnetic field, and because of that there is some friction force. Because of that, the heating of the product or the blanching of the product is being done. In ohmic blanching, what happens is the food is placed here, So the food which is placed between the two roads, so this is a positive road and this is a negative road, and here in between food is there. So food will going to behave as an electric resistance, and so that heat will produce and the product temperature will increase and the blanching temperature increase and products goes under blanching. It is a fast and very uniform heating method. So what happens? It depends mainly on the current induced and the electrical conductivity of the food product. So it depends on the food product electrical property behavior. So based on that, the product will going to heat. And in infrared blanching, what will happen? Infrared radiations, the visible light radiations and the microwave, they will both play role into this. So what happened basically, the food like this here from the feed hopper, food will come. This is the heating chamber. So these are the IR radiation source, and when the outlet will be there, here the food will be heated up to blanching state and then output will come. So what happens is the mechanism is basically rotational vibrational movements that produces heat. So basically IR radiations will come and food product absorbs IR radiation, and what will going to happen? It will undergo vibrational motions like stretching of, just say OH bond is there. If OH bond is there, so there will be some stretching of the bond. There will be shrinkage of the bond, or there will be bending of the bond. So like these vibrational motions will be there, and heat will be transferred because of these rotational and the vibrational motion in the food product. So basically, these are the novel technologies. And if we talk about the efficacy, so what happens in this conventional methods? The nutritional quality of the food is very much affected. Nutritional quality of the food is very much affected. Also, like the treatment is not like leaching the thermal sensitive compounds and the water soluble nutrients. But when we talk about these novel technologies, what will going to happen is, since we are not like, since the water which is already present in the food is only being utilized to produce a dipole movement or the food electrical conductivity or the resistance property, they are being utilized in these methods. So what will going to happen? The extra water we are not taking, only the water present, and the compounds are not leaching with the water which is present. So the nutritional quality is very good. And also these methods are like very fast methods compared to the conventional methods, because and the more uniform heating will be there. So in the inside the food product in these methods like infrared, ohmic heating and microwave, compared to these methods, conventional methods. So these type novel methodologies are very good. So today we have discussed about washing and cleaning, and then we discussed about the how like the different cleaning methods, dry cleaning, steaming and the wet cleaning, and we discussed about different separators or the washing, with different washing methods, and then we discussed about the cleaning of the spices and condiments, and then what are the different good practices we should follow. Like this, also we discussed about sanitizing agents, and then we discussed about sorting and the grading processes like sizing of the foods, and then different graders of uh, or the different separators in the cleaning process we discussed, and then we discussed about different what is peeling and different peeling methods, and then we discussed about the packaging, about the CFB, we discussed about the plastic packaging or the flexible packaging materials also. And when we discussed at the end about the storage of the food product, in the next week we will be talking about minimal processing and hurdle technology, intermediate and high moisture foods, and then we will going to discuss about cut fruits and vegetables. And this is the YouTube channel link where I'll be uploading the recorded video. The PPT will be uploaded in the Google Drive. And if you have any doubts, you can ask now, and or you can put on in the Q&A group or the discussion forum group. So thank you so much for joining this class. You have doubt, Vishakha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please ask.
Ma'am, it was regarding assignment 3. There was a question which was stating that which of the following statements are correct regarding the following influencing microbial ecology in food. So there were 4 options, like A, 1 and 3 only, B, 1, 2 and 4 only, C, 1 and 2 only, and again D, that is 1 and 3 only. So I have chosen option A, that is 1 and 3. But they said option D is correct, and that D is also 1 and 3 only. So my answer is
Let me
given
see
as
that
wrong.
question.
For sure, ma'am.
Which assignment you are talking with?
Week 3 assignment, ma'am.
Yeah, weekly assignment. Which question, Vishakha?
The question was which of the following statement is